Are you ready for the next vintage wedding dress restoration? Well, let's get started. This gown was donated by a follower. Her name is Sarah, and she said this wedding dress was from 1952. She also included the veil and a bonus green dress. This headpiece was made with wax flowers, and something felt so familiar about this green dress. From the tiers to the lace, even the styling of the center bodice. So imagine my delight when I turned over the tag and found out it was a Gunne Sax dress. I'm really excited to restore this one. There's something about vintage Gunne Sax dresses that I just can't get over. And this one's gonna need a little bit of work to get it looking good as new. I'll have some stain removal to do and to replace that little ribbon in the middle. On to the wedding dress. Sarah's great-grandmother had encouraged her mother to try to look for a fancier dress. Much to her dismay, she adored this dress. Personally, I love the simple details. And I feel like the silhouette on this is gonna be gorgeous. The back is currently a bit of a mystery to me, but I'm sure it will reveal itself soon. It appears that maybe these ruffles were tied into bows and there's long trains of ribbon behind it. If you'd like to see this restoration from start to finish, make sure you follow along. I'm so excited to share more about it, and thanks for watching. It's time for an update on the 1970s Gunne Sax dress and the 1952 wedding dress. This pale green Gunne Sax dress was worn by a concert violinist, and it even includes the original cord. I'm a huge fan of this pale green color. This restoration will include some heavy spot removal, and also some pretty heavy discoloration. However, who doesn't absolutely love a good Gunne Sax? Next up is the 1952 wedding dress. This gown was originally criticized for being too simple, but the bride herself absolutely loved this classic design. And despite the criticism, she bought it anyway. Let's get started with the green Gunne Sax dress. For this one, I'll be starting out with the Nellie's Wow Stick. I like to use this first for heavy spot removal. I just spray a little water on and then make sure to rub the product into all of the major stains. Then I filled the tub with warm water. And for the first soak, I'll be using Nellie's laundry soda. I find that this product helps neutralize everything. I'll have the link in my bio. One of my favorite parts is watching the dress hit the water and slowly suck it all in. It's almost like a sigh of relief. Once the fabric had rested, I slowly started to work the water and the product throughout the gown. It's important to not overwork the fabric so that you don't stretch the fibers. It's one of the many reasons I always prefer hand washing. Also, it's kind of fun to get to watch the water change. I went ahead and drained out all of the dirty water, and now it was time to turn to one of my other favorites, Oxyclean White Revive. And no worries, I also posted this one on my Amazon list. I'm gonna do about 2 capfuls here. The nice part is this is completely color safe. After some more hand washing, it sits in the tub to soak before its final rinse about 2 hours later. Next up is the wedding dress, again starting with Nellie's laundry soda, and because I'll be using more water, I'll do about 4 scoops in this one. One of the things I love about this gown is it's so lightweight, but it sucked up the water fast. I found myself having to fill the tub even more after this, and then it was on to more hand washing. People like to ask me why I use a little raccoon as my logo, and this is why. If you've ever seen them wash their food, it looks just like this. Next, this is something kind of weird, but I like to use some Zote and some of that Nellie's Wow Stick and shave it into the tub. I find this really helps lift out that discoloration all in the first wash. As you can see, this water turned pretty rapidly. And after about 15 to 20 minutes of hand washing, I could barely see my hand at the bottom of the tub through all of this cloudy water. At that point, it was time to drain all of that out and fill it with some fresh water. And of course, going back in with one of my other favorite products, which was the Oxyclean White Revive, I'm going to do a couple more capfuls of this because again, we're using more water. And for those of you curious, the water is just warm, slightly above room temperature. After working at this for several more minutes, it was time to let it soak, and once it's done soaking, I will rinse it and dry it, and I can't wait to show you the grand reveal. Thanks for watching! It's time for the final reveal of the 1952 vintage wedding dress restoration. This item was donated by a follower, and along with it she donated another dress from the family from the 1970s. This beautiful Gunne Sax dress was worn to a violin concert, and it definitely needed a little love. Up next was the 1952 wedding dress. Originally criticized for its simplicity, we all love it, just like the bride did. As always, I get to work washing both of these dresses right away. I go over all of the products I use and how I do this in many of my live streams. So be sure to tune in if you ever see me live one day if you want to know more about this process. This gown took 2 washes, and you could see all of the dirt that came out of it. After washing and letting soak for a few hours, I did a final rinse and then I let it drip to dry. But then I had another mystery on my hands. What was I supposed to do with the back of this dress? After steaming, I was delighted to find out that this was the final result once tied. And here is what this beauty looks like from the front now. It's a soft, warm white, and I feel like the color is perfect for this silk chiffon to help the details pop. and I'm so happy seeing that the back of this dress adds something so special and unique, even in its simplicity. At first, it felt like I hadn't done much until I saw these side-by-sides, and now I can see that this dress really did undergo a great transformation, and I can't wait for this one to get its second chance. Now on to the Gunne Sax dress. After washing and steaming, here she is. That dusty green is now more of a beautiful, powdery sage, and I love the shape that it has now. Once again, these side-by-side photos really show me that this went on quite a journey, and even though it's not absolutely perfect, I love how it turned out. What do you think about these restorations? Be sure to share your comments with me, and thanks for watching.